I think I'm getting more comfortable in the ring. I've been here for some time now, so I think I'm maturing as I'm growing. I feel as though that great things is ahead of me, as long as I stay focused.
What a fight between Barrios and Davis!
When Floyd came up to me, he was down on the official cards, but I'm like, I just dropped him. There's no way I'm down, but that's coming from Floyd, so. And then when he said, show me you great, that's all he had to say. I don't care about who is in front of me, who in back of me. As long as I win. That's the whole goal, to win. That's my main goal, to win, and look damn good doing it.
Yo, Stak, guess what?
What's up, my guy?
DraftKings has brought their expertise to legal sports betting.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the best in the game. It's a legitimate sportsbook based right here in the U.S., so you can sleep easy knowing your funds are secure.
All new customers can wager $1 on the game of their choosing, basketball or football. And so long as the game doesn't end in a 0-0 tie, they will win $100 in free bets.
That's right. Bet just $1 on any basketball game or football game this week, and DraftKings Sportsbook will give new customers $100 in free bets once either team scores a point.
Check it all out through the DraftKings Sportsbook app. There's player props, live betting, future betting, and much more to mess around with. Jack, we got some big games coming up this week. The two best in the league right now, record-wise, Golden State Warriors versus the Phoenix Suns, and the Hornets versus the Bucks. Talk to me about the Warriors Suns.
Oh, man, it's going to be a game it's a must-see game. The hottest team in the league, really looks like the best team in the league, the Phoenix Suns. But one of the teams that's coming to make some noise and still trying to get healthy with the Golden State Warriors, with Steph playing like the MVP. So it's going to be a great matchup and a great test for both teams.
And then the Hornets Bucks. I mean, LaMelo is must-see. We'll talk about it later. But the Bucks just signed our man Boogie, so that's going to be a good one as well.
Yes, sir.
Additionally, this year, DraftKings Sportsbook has given all customers a chance to win big in their Game of the Week Wednesday. Bet $50 or more on any marker for that week's chosen game. All customers will receive $1 per point over $200 towards a free bet. Check out the site every Wednesday and get in the action.
Don't miss out on this week's basketball and football action with DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. That's promo code SMOKE. Head to the app now to check out all the great odds and promotions DraftKings Sportsbook has to offer.
You remember when he was with the Nets, got paid in Bitcoin. What are your thoughts about the way he does his creative contracts?
Some motherfuckers just too smart. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you got too much time on your hands.
Yeah, that could be the greatest answer you've ever given me. Welcome back to What's Burning. Jack, let's get to it. Status check. Eastern Conference. Nets are starting to find their rhythm, winning 7 out of their last 10, sitting at 14-6. LaMarcus Aldridge has been turning back the clock, averaging 19 over his last 5. Just in, Joe Harris, ankle surgery, out 4 to 8 weeks. Let's talk about this Nets team.
Yeah, I thought Joe Harris was hurt since last year. I ain't seen him. For the playoffs, he was absent. No, he was Casper the Ghost, and now he's hurt. I hope he get back soon, but he wasn't doing nothing anyway. LaMarcus Aldridge is big for them, bro. It's big. Coming back after he said he was going to retire, but to see him back on the court, to see the contribution he's giving to this team with everything they're going through, like Joe Harris being out and Kyrie not being there, is big for that team. And in order for this team to be successful, even if Kyrie don't come back, he has to continue to play this way. He has to go back to his all-star form.
I agree. Aldridge, I think we talked about, we think Paul Millsap needs to step up, and Blake Griffin. You know, they kind of did the Lakers recipe where they got a bunch of older free agents for a good price, and I think these guys are just going to have to find their rhythm. Will Kyrie come back? I think that's still a question the world is wondering. James Harden, hopefully finding his rhythm up soon. He mentioned that it's been tough for him trying to really find his rhythm and when he's supposed to do what, but I think that's something he'll work himself through. Again, I think this team is fine. As long as you got Kevin Durant and you can be healthy when it matters, you're always going to have a shot to win. Bucks getting healthy, turning the corner since Middleton came back. 7 straight, had missed the previous 8 before that. Really like this team. I think Giannis obviously took that step to show the world what type of player he is and what he's about.
It's good to have him back. for the simple fact that he's the big shot maker. He initiates the offense, and he takes a lot of pressure off Greek Freak. He's the most dominant player in the game. He gets all the attention, but having Middleton on the court makes this team a championship team. Without him, they're not.
Yeah, he's definitely their closer. And they just signed our brother DeMarcus Cousins, man, so hoping he gets a chance to really kind of find his rhythm. These situations are tricky because sometimes they may sign you on a non-guarantee and you really not get a chance to do your shit. So hopefully they give him a chance to do something because I definitely think he still has something in the tank. As of Monday, 11 teams are separated by only 4 games in the East. Obviously, the Nets are at the top of that. Milwaukee number 2, Washington 3, Chicago, Milwaukee, Charlotte, Knicks, Atlanta, Cleveland, and then Boston and Philly are on the outside looking in the play-in situations right now. This East is wild, and it's really similar to the West. But let's talk about the East right now. Like, you can go on a 4, 5, 6 game winning streak and climb from the gutter to a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, because you got to look at the East. You know, you got so many teams that still don't even know they full roster. You know, you got Philly, you got Brooklyn still missing Kyrie. You know what I mean? You got a lot of teams. Chicago just getting guys healthy. Philly having guys in and out. You know, so the East is up for grabs. I think you know Miami, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee should be at the top. But can these teams like Boston turn it around? Can Philly turn it around? Atlanta's in the thick of the things. I don't believe the Knicks. I never will. Cleveland, how's Cleveland in the top 8? Like the Eastern Conference is crazy. Shout out to the coach in Cleveland for getting these guys playing. Bickerstaff, man, right? That's his name, Bickerstaff, right? Yeah, that's the homie. That's the homie. But the way the East looks right now, I guarantee you, Matt, come April, it will not look like that.
I mean, I love, again, what they're doing in Cleveland. They're playing with the newfound energy. And it's without their point guard. If Colin Sexton, I'm not mistaken, is still out. But these guys play hard. Mobley's over there in the Rookie of the Year conversation. But obviously, Brooklyn is Brooklyn. But I really like that Miami, Washington, Chicago, that 2, 3, 4 area. Happy for Washington and Chicago, both with revamped rosters, out there playing really good basketball. And then obviously Miami adding Kyle Lowry and these guys finding their rhythm. This is going to be dope to watch down the stretch. Obviously, you know, we still got 60-plus games left in the season, but it's going to be back and forth all season. And it's going to be fun to watch. Now, looking at the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors. These dudes are amazing. Sitting at the top of the league at 18-2. Steph Curry is on some real Steph Curry shit. Probably, to me, Jack, playing the best basketball in his career, and that's saying a lot because he's the only unanimous MVP this league has ever seen. And I think he's playing the best he's played. He's at 28.4 points a game, 6.9, let's say 7 assists, and 6 rebounds, shooting 41% from the 3. He is definitely in MVP mode. Klay Thompson and James Wiseman were sent over to the G League to build the greatest G League ever. That Santa Cruz team is going to be jumping for the next week or so. So Klay is close. What do you think about this Warrior team?
That's what I think about them. Everybody's thinking the same way what you just said. We're close to having Klay back. We're close to getting our full team back. They get Klay and Wiseman back and continue to play at the level they playing at. Man, this team is definitely a championship team. I'm not surprised. Like I said, Steph is picking off where he left off last year. He's always been one of the best shooters in the game. First to ever hit 1,000 threes in the season already. Goddamn. But still, bro, just this team, if they can get healthy with Klay and get Wiseman back to the way they're supposed to play, this team can win the West by easy. It's not even a conversation. You know, a lot of people are like, is Klay going to be healthy or what team is this going to be? It's not even a conversation no more. The way Steph's playing, if Klay come back and Wiseman come back, this team can come out the West.
Yeah, I think with or without Klay, this team is a championship team, and that's saying a lot because we know what Klay is capable of. Him coming back is important. You know, he's getting that bug. He sat on the bench post-game with the towel on his head. Like, he's been out for 2 years, so I hope he can just come back and, you know, walk his way back into shape because being out that long with the type of injuries he has is scary. One thing I want to say about this team, though, that is different from other teams in the league, and this is probably why they're back on track, is this team has kept their core together. I don't know if you can name another team there's been able to keep their core together. So even when they had, 2 down years, Dre was still there. Steph was in and out being hurt. They were able to bring Iguodala back. Teams don't keep their core anymore, and that used to kind of be the staple of the NBA back in the day. But now that superstars move so much that it's rare for a team to keep their core together. And I think that's why now, when they were able to develop these young players the last 2 years when the team was down, shout out Jordan Poole. I think he's going to be a star. It's been good to see the development of these guys, and now they're ready. I think one person is going to be a key for this team on both ends of the floor, and I think finally, because he's always kind of been a what if to me. Andrew Wiggins is playing really good basketball offensively and defensively. He's someone that could, guard your best player. And that Clay coming back, he's going to be slow for a little bit. That's normally his role. So I love what Wiggins has been able to do. He's finally in a great situation with a great, great team around him and a bunch of vets. And like you said, Jack, this team is definitely preparing to come out of the West. Next up, the hottest team. It was crazy to say that, Golden State is 18-2. But Phoenix has won 16 straight, and they're sitting 1 game behind Golden State. As of Monday, Booker, 3 straight 30-point games on the road. Him and CP are doing what him and CP do. Talk to me about this Phoenix team.
Well, with me, I think this Phoenix team is still feeling like they have something to prove. A lot of people, and it's just the facts. Every team they played last year in the playoffs had one of their star players injured. So they feel like they're not getting the respect that they deserve, and that's a rightful way to look at it. I think they still have something to prove, and when you play like that, it shows right now the way they're playing right now that they have something to prove, and they want to let y'all know that we didn't make it to the Western Conference Finals on accident. We are that team, and we're here to show it again this year, and they're getting off to a great start.
I 100% agree, and I was one of those people that kind of doubted them for the reasons you said earlier. I thought they had obviously getting there is still tough, but I felt like it just laid out perfect, and I love when I'm wrong about stuff like this. Like Phoenix is a legit contender this season. They're getting healthy. With Aiden back, JaVale McGee's been playing great. Shout out JaVale McGee. He stepped up big when Aiden was down. But CP has been able to turn back the clock, man. CP is still in. Normally you don't find point guards his age still able to do what he does and really run a team. And he's been doing a great job of that. And, we already know Devin Booker is one of the best players in the league. So shout out Phoenix. A couple big injuries in the Western Conference, Jack. Sprained knee, will be out a few weeks. Glad it wasn't because I saw that when it first happened before they knew what happened, and it was like a non-contact. I'm just like, oh shit, those non-contacts are the dangerous one. He's been having a breakout season at nearly 25 points a game, 7 assists, and about 5.5 rebounds a game. Obviously, the team had to play without him last year and kind of stayed afloat. Talk to me about this Memphis Grizzlies team and how important Ja is to this team.
Yeah, I mean, as far as he go, they go. They go nowhere without Ja. I think the best thing about the injury is we haven't heard it as serious. We haven't heard that he needs season-ending surgery or nothing like that. So it's just a sprain. We've all sprained our knees, and it falls into that area of tendonitis where you can't really move it. It's just real tender. Ice it, he'll be back. It's nothing serious. So I think they need to just hold on to that. And hold on to the positive because they know the season is for nothing without Ja Morant.
Yeah, I mean, this team has, and again, thankfully it's not a major injury, but I like this team, man. They're young, they play hard. Brooke, Jackson, Kyle Anderson, Bane, they play hard over there and they play a certain way. And I know that Memphis City appreciates the way they play, man. So definitely looking forward to him getting healthy and back on the court. Unfortunately, Michael Porter, possibly he's having back surgery. They haven't given a timetable, but back surgery normally means you're going to be out for the remainder of the season. He just signed his 5-year extension that kicks in next season. So this was always the what if with him. He had back problems coming in. He was able to battle through those and show flashes of how amazing he could be, awarded with a max extension. Now he's going back under the knife. How does Denver approach this situation, and what do they do now that they're down him and Murray?
They up shit creek. I mean, this is the same guy who dropped in the draft a couple places because of the same back injury, because they was worried about his back, and he missed the beginning of his rookie career because of his back. So this is not nothing that that's not serious. You know what I mean? He almost stopped playing because of this. So I honestly, just my personal opinion, I don't think he proved enough to get that 5-year extension. Yeah, he played well in the playoffs a little bit, but he didn't prove enough to get that 5-year extension, and he didn't prove he was durable enough because, you know, when you give a guy that much money, you're going to get the ball a lot. You need to be on the court. And I didn't see that in him from the jump. I'm sending prayers to him that he gets well and his surgery is a success, but I kind of had a feeling that this guy wasn't durable enough to be a player, especially the money he makes.
I agree with half of your statement there. As far as flashes and talent, I thought he was a max guy, and I knew because I've been following him for a while through high school and everything. I question the durability. You know, anytime back is one of those things you can't fuck with. Like, you can't. Back is, to me, probably the worst injury, maybe even worse than knees, because, you know, back is can't walk with a bad back. So
I agree.
That's what scares me. And once you start getting involved with nerves, and that's what I'm hearing. That's, you know, some have to do with some nerves as well. It's just an unfortunate situation, man. So definitely praying for him. Hopefully this surgery will get him into a position where he can return next year and keep hooping. Because again, this kid is 6'9", 6'10", can shoot, can jump, can dribble, can do everything, man. So we definitely want to see him back on the court. Next up on the radar, presented to you by DraftKings. Man, we get a treat this week. The Warriors and the Suns, the team with the two best records, play Tuesday and Friday. Western Conference Finals odds. DraftKings has the Warriors at 3-1 odds and the Suns at 5.5 to 1 odds. Jack, is it too early to think that we're seeing the Western Conference Finals this week?
Way too early. Way too early. We know how injuries play a part in the season. We know how some teams can turn their team around. We know how one trade can turn the team around. There's so many aspects in the season that could be a big factor that it's too early. We've both been a part of this league for a long time. We know the dynamics in making the season successful and making the season unsuccessful. And you have so much time for all those things to come into play. So it's hard to say right now.
I completely agree. And I think as players, we know we never looked at it. Even like if you were on a top team playing another top team early in the season, we were never like, oh, we're going to see them. And it was never really like that for players. It's more just, to me, that's more outside media stirring up, trying to get more eyeballs on the game. But what I will say is I'm just excited to see these two teams play, period. Phoenix was 16 straight, Warriors at 18-2. It's just going to be some good basketball. Anytime Steph and CP link, it's going to be a battle. But forecasting the future, if we do see this in the Western Conference Finals, Steph and Clay, fully healthy Steph and Clay backcourt, fully healthy CP3 and Devin Booker backcourt, what backcourt are you taking? Just backcourts alone?
I'm going with Steph and Clay. Because you got two of the best shooters in the game, and you got even Booker's one of the best shooters in the game too. So I'll go with Steph and Clay before I go with CP and Book.
Yeah, I mean I would agree with you, but it's CP and Book are definitely getting their recognition as one of the best backcourts in the game. But you got to go with the Old Faithful.
I think JaVale McGee is going to be the factor in that game.
Yeah, he's big. I love the way he's been able to do what he does. Next up, securing the bag by Moneyline. Spencer Dinwiddie is an interesting dude. I never got a chance to meet him, but I've always heard from afar just the creative way he's been structuring his contracts. He got a 3-year, $54 million deal from the Wizards in one of the craziest signing trades ever. But he has these incentives where he gets $1.5 million if he plays 50 or more games. So coming off an injury. $100K if the Wizards make the second round, $571,000 if the Wizards make the Eastern Conference Finals, and another $400,000 if the Wizards make it to the finals, and only $1 if they win the finals. So he has a bunch of these weird incentives in his contract. But you remember when he was with the Nets, he got paid in Bitcoin. This dude is definitely money oriented and thinking about just the future in the way we should receive money. What are your thoughts about the way he does his creative contract?
Some motherfuckers just too smart. You know what I'm saying? He too smart. Kudos to him. I wish I was just smarter than him, but bro, you got too much time on your hands. All right? Hey, do you? I fuck with you. I love the car. I love the way you played. I love that you overcame that injury and came back. But, bro, you got too much time on your hands.
Yeah, that could be the greatest answer you've ever given me. But one thing, outside of his creative contracts and your amazing answer, he's fit in well over there. He's right under 15 points a game, so definitely bounced back from his injury.
Nah, he's solid, Matt. And when he was in Brooklyn, he was a big part of Brooklyn's success before he got hurt. He belonged in this league and he gonna dominate, and he overcame an injury that gives other people who's going through stuff like that the motivation to get out of it and to still be successful, and he's doing that. This guy, before he got hurt, no telling where his career would have been and no telling what role he'll have on what team right now, because he was one of those players like, oh, this kid can run the team. He could be the star of a team. Yeah. But to bounce back from this injury and the way Washington is playing right now, being one of the top teams in the East, it says a lot to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's healthy now. He's secured the bag now. He's getting paid creatively, but most importantly, he's doing what he's supposed to do on the court, and that's what's most important. Because all this other shit wouldn't matter if he wasn't playing well, and he's been able to come back like for an injury, like you said, and play well and help his team be a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference, man. So definitely shout out Spencer Dinwiddie. This Thursday, December 2nd, make sure you don't miss the conversation Jack and I had with our brothers. Shout out $1 Million Worth of Game and Gillian Wallow. Sir. We had a dope conversation with them when we was out in New York. Enjoy this teaser.
Who you feel like is going to win the championship this year?
I feel like it's going to be hard to beat Golden State. I feel like when they get the kid Wiseman back,
Clay,
because he's a defensive, he's a rim protector, and he can finish a little bit, and he got a little 15 and 17 footer that he can knock down. I feel like them boys gonna be up. They already running this shit. Imagine when they get Clay, and Clay, man, let's be for real, man. Clay like a lion sitting there looking at goddamn 17 wildebeest walk up on him.
I'm saying,
he can't wait to get back.
The way they playing, if he come back 85%, they gonna be on one.
And we already know he gonna come back because he one of them kids, he put the work in. And he feel disrespected too. He didn't make the top 75. He feel disrespected. And I feel though he's the second greatest shooter of all time, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, no question.
You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like if you second to do anything in the league, you should probably be in the fucking top 75. And you got championships as well, and you big reason why y'all won the championships.
Could have been MVP in any one of them championships.
Absolutely. So for me, it's like I don't see nobody beating Golden State.
We're now to fan questions. Here we go. Jesse _H_94. Ooh, good question. Who wins a 7-game series fully healthy? We believe Warriors or the current Warrior squad? Hashtag
Listen, bro.
What's burning?
Listen, bro. BD healthy, and a healthy team, we beating anybody. We showed y'all we can beat anybody. We beat the Mavericks, the best team in the league with the MVP. So we can beat anybody if we healthy. I don't give a damn who it is.
The first thing people would say is they have Steph, but a healthy Baron Davis who can guard too. Motherfuckers don't know BD was playing defense too. Full court, he'll pick you up. And I think we would have had to put Steph on the ground a couple times though. You know what I mean? Like
they not tougher than us.
Yeah, we were a mean team. They have a little bit of, obviously Draymond holds it down for that team, and that team, we're not taking anything away from what they did. Obviously, you're asking 2 players to play on the other team. But I think fully healthy with this team right now, we definitely give them some problems.
We had 3 Draymonds with a 3-ball.
Man. Man. And then don't forget about Jay Rich will give you 30. Petrus will come in and give you 20.
Monte will come and give you 50.
Man, Beardrench is running the floor, blocking shots, rebounding, catching dunk tips, lobs. Like, we had some shit. It would have been fun, bro. I wish there's a way. Some smart motherfucker needs to come up with a way to replay, like
to simulate it?
Yeah, like a real simulation of the 80, the 92 Bulls and whoever. But
if me and Draymond don't get texts, it's not a real simulation.
Who are you talking about? Meet them right with y'all. It would have been. That's what I used to tell people with this thing. I was like, we had a whole team of Draymond's, like as far as his approach and his attitude and the way he has his team's back. Like we all were ready to fight. He's the one that has to fight for that team. Like we was all ready to fight on or off the court. So it was always some shit with us.
Next fan question at Ijanika 1982. If either of you were to give your draft your drafted young self any advice about the best way to prepare and sustain a long-term career as a player, what would it be?
Jack, you know what's crazy is there's just so much attention on shit like that now. When we came in, we was just on our own. I think obviously shout out to our vets because that's who used to kind of show us the ropes, but it wasn't really no talk about saving, investing, and all this other shit and how to, eating healthy. Like none of that was talked about. It's crazy because it wasn't really that long ago, but it was 20 years ago. So if we came in now knowing, how to invest our money, we can turn our money into Bitcoin and we need to eat healthy and do this. And we didn't do none of that shit and still lasted 14 years and did well on both sides. So would I give myself any advice? Nah, man, I would say stay out of trouble. But outside of that, I liked, I was learning on the fly.
Well, my answer probably has nothing to do with basketball. I would have told myself, don't be such a fucking rock star. I was a rock star. Like I was living a rapper's life in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I was doing shows on the road. Like I was doing a whole bunch of stuff that didn't have nothing to do with basketball. So I would tell my younger self, don't be so much of a rock star. I know it's hard for me to accept that because I am one, but I would have told myself, don't be a rock star. Just chill out and play basketball.
Me knowing you the way I know you, the way I look at you, how you put your life, you was a rock star, then a gangbanger, then an NBA player.
Accurate, very accurate, very accurate.
Basketball was third on your list, and you still did a great job at it, but the other two were the priority for you.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Basketball was last.
Basketball was last, and you still did it good, so you must have did the other two things great. Shit.
Oh, man.
I train _32. Do you like the rule change and the flow of the game this season?
Not really. I don't like the rule that they put in. This is probably the only thing I don't like. I don't like the rule they put in for James Harden. Just because James Harden's smart enough to get your arm locked in every time you reach when he drive, that's a skill. Don't take that away from him because a lot of players are getting stupid fouls by using their hands and not sliding their feet. So that's the only thing I hate. James Harden was exploiting the league and exploiting a lot of defensive players, not being able to move their feet and use their hands. And now that they took that away from him, and I don't think that was fair, bro. And I think it's affecting this game.
It's definitely affecting this game, but I'm on the other side. I love it because, having to guard him, I used to hate when I was playing good defense and he would somehow get my hand wrapped up in his fucking armpit. I'm like, bro, I wasn't even near your armpit. How's my motherfucking hand in your armpit right now? So I like that, to be honest with you, but again, great skill. He found out a way he was a cheat code. He found out a way to this dude was getting 15 to 20 free throws every single night. And with him not getting that now is part of the reason why I feel like he's struggling. He has to kind of just go back to, because he's always been a great player. He's going to figure that out. He's always one of the best scorers we've ever seen, but he had manipulated the game so much that he knew he was going to get 15. Could you imagine every night knowing you're going to get 15 to 20 just from the free throw line, bro?
Crazy.
Insane. But yes, I like the flow of the game. They get to be a little bit more physical now. They're not calling these weird wrap up fouls. So definitely the flow of the game is better.
Next fan question. At Chris Buzanowski. Should the Kings try to rebuild around De'Aaron Fox or trade him for a young talented big / draft picks or have Davion Tyrese backcourt duo?
This is a good question for me because, I'm over there working now.
Yep, you would know.
De'Aaron Fox is a great young talent who scores the ball well. But I think what he needs to learn how to do is be a leader. He's the best player on the team, but he's not necessarily the leader, and I think that's what that team lacks. And then another thing I feel like that would put him to the next level, and I still think is coming, is being able to set his teammates up because he's not a very good creator for teammates. And, we're in such a shooting league now that, you need a point guard that could do both. And he could definitely score. He's starting to find his rhythm this season. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that he is a franchise player, so to speak, and I say that with all due respect. because I really like his game. I think he would be, if they were able to get a true number one, I think he would be a great 2. They got a lot of talent, though, with Davion Mitchell and Tyrese Halliburton in their backcourt. And they probably are the future of the team. But right now, I like De'Aaron Fox. But I went in on. I feel like Kings management need to do a better job of putting talent in that small market because they just fired Luke Walton. I know you're a big fan of Luke, but it's going to be a revolving door. That seat in Sacramento is going to keep turning over until they put some real talent out there. So that's my take. Next up, Smitty_Hooper15. If the NBA were to introduce a new award that recognizes tough, scrappy players like yourselves, PJ Tucker, Pat Bev, etc., what would you call that award?
Good question. I probably would call it Hustle Player Award.
Hustle Player?
Yeah.
That's
Award. The Hustle Award. The Hustle Award.
That's an NBA term. I was gonna say some shit like the Gutter Award.
Yeah.
The grinder. But I like the Hustle Award. I like that. They might be able to use that, Jack.
The Hustle Award.
Mm-hmm. We would have definitely got a couple Hustle Awards. That's one award I know I could have won.
Or they can call it the Tony Allen Award, Ron Artest Award, some shit like that. They ain't gonna name no award after no real nigga, though.
No.
Because if that's the case, Vernon Maxwell had one.
Man, Vernon Maxwell. That's Lon's partner. In closing, congratulations to Kevin Durant on passing Allen Iverson for 25th all-time on the scoring lead. Next up is Ray Allen, Patrick Ewing, Jerry West, Reggie Miller, and then Alice English to get to 20. Jack, KD's been a hell of a scorer his whole career. When it's all said and done, where do you feel like he'll be on the scoring list?
Shout out to Slim Reaper. That's one of our real brothers. They ain't just somebody we cool with the NBA. That's one of our real brothers.
Yes, sir.
He a part of the fraternity of the real. Shout out to the Snipe. I think he'll finish top 10, if not top 5. If he stay healthy, if he wouldn't have missed the time he missed, he would have been closer than that. He's one of the most efficient players we've seen. He's guaranteed to average what he's averaging now every year. If he stay healthy, I see him top 5, top 10.
Yeah, agreed. I definitely think he'll reach that top 5 because what is he, early 30s?
Yeah.
He's still got a good 5 years, and the great thing about him is his game's not based on athleticism. You know what I mean? So he's 6'11", doing all that shit. So even when he's not as athletic as he is now, he'll still be able to do what he does because it's footwork and it's the length and getting to his shot. So he's gonna be a problem. You guys still got KD on your hands for another good run. Man, next up, John Wall has met with the Houston Rockets. He wants to return to playing. You know he's owed $91 million over the next 2. They tried to trade him. No one's taking that contract. The Rockets want him to play a secondary role on this team, more of a complementary role. What do you think? How do you think that's going to work out?
I don't know. John Wall's my brother as well, and my cousin is the coach of the team, Steven Silas. But I think they need to send him to a team like Philly or somewhere else, bro. I think the young guys they need to start developing them. We know what John Wall is. We know what the player he is. He's still one of the best point guards in the league. But I think he needs to be on a team that has a chance to win the championship now to get the best out of his last couple of years because he's been so injured. You know, I don't think that's going to work. I think it's going to be a point where he's overshadowing young guys that they want to see grow, and it's not going to contribute, turn into winning, and it's going to become a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I still think John Wall has a lot of good years left. For him to bounce back after the injuries he had, averaging 20 a game when he was playing last year. But I don't know if Houston's the spot. But then again, no one's going to take that 2 years, $90+ million contract. So it's going to be interesting because if he is going to play, it's going to have to be in Houston for a little while. And like you said, now it's time to develop the young talent on that team. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, let me say this though: Ben Simmons for John Wall, Ben Simmons can go there, be with the younger guys, and play a better position than the point guard. He can play a power forward and be a facilitator. And the contracts, so it's ways to get around it. I just don't see, that working for John Wall, but I would love to see him in Philly.
Next up, shout out Boogie Cousins. Signed a non-guaranteed deal to add some depth to the Milwaukee Bucks. Thoughts on this?
They lost their toughness with PJ Tucker. They need to get that toughness back. Boogie's that guy. Obviously, he's not on the wing with it, but the toughness, the respect he has, and him being on the court, it's gonna make Greek more confident, and it's gonna take a little pressure off him having Boogie on the court. People don't know. Last year we seen Boogie in the playoffs. He was carrying the Clippers for a couple games against the Clippers. Against the Phoenix Suns. They just didn't play him that much. He played well in the playoffs last year and showed he still had a lot in the tank. Hopefully he gets the opportunity to play there and give this team some good minutes.
I'm happy for Boogie, man, but it hurts my soul to think about how his career has kind of detoured, because his first 7 years, he was the best big man in the game, better than Joel Embiid. I don't give a fuck what no one says. No one was doing what Boogie was doing. 50-point triple doubles, point center. He was mean. He was nasty. I love Boogie's game. And then he's one hustle play away from signing a $200 million extension and tears his Achilles. And
I was at that game.
Man, and then just starts bouncing and then tears a quad and comes back in record time for the Warriors and then tears an ACL. I'm just like, God, damn, this dude was on pace to be, and hopefully he'll still make it, but first bout Hall of Famer, man, and be dominant, dominant big in the game. And, with all due respect to Joker and Embiid, they weren't as good as Boogie. So just fucked up. Always praying for him, happy for him. I hope, again, like I said earlier, I hope he really gets a chance, though. You know what I mean? Don't sign him and have him sitting there. Let him get his feet wet, learn the offense, and then give him some time to really, show that he can help the team. Because I hate when situations like this happen where he'll get signed to a 10-day or whatever the fuck deal they're going to give him, and then not really give him a chance and cut him. Because then now another team, that'll probably be his last chance. Another team's not going to give him a chance after that. So I hope they give him a chance to play.
Yeah, shout out my bro Boogie. And no big man has had the bag that Boogie had on the court but Akeem Olajuwon. It was no big man crossing over between his legs. Olajuwon was the only one to do that. Boogie was the second coming to that, and he was mean. It was Shaq and Akeem Olajuwon combined for 7 years.
And then he moved out to the perimeter too. Put some Rasheed Wallace in his shit. Like Boogie was a motherfucker, man. And what I loved about it, he was mean. And they just don't have them type of players no more. But, best of luck, our brother Boogie. All right, man, condolences to Virgil Abloh. Rest in peace. Sending love and strength to his wife and 2 children. The iconic artist passed away this weekend. Fashion icon. Most people, if you're not really into it, only know him for maybe the off-white stuff. But this man's been in the game for a long time. Tight with Kanye. 41, you never really know, he had this battle, same with Chadwick Boseman. He did it in private. He struggled with it with just his family knowing and never really told no one. So when he died, it shocked everyone. But it just really goes to show, man, you just never know what people are going through, what people are dealing with, man. And treat people right, live, because you never know when, 41, man. I'm about to be 42 next month. You're 42, 43. It's sad, man.
Yeah, you never know what people are going through. And the one thing about it, everybody's going through something. You might not see it, they might not tell you, but everybody's going through something. So it's imperative that you cordially treat people the way you want to be treated. That's something we stand on. I got on my off-white today for Virgil, man. Rest in peace and in love to your family. But icon, a trendsetter, he will definitely live on because his fashion and his imprint on the fashion game is something that can't be duplicated. So we're going to continue to represent for him, man. Like I said, I got my off-white on today, and I'm going to continue to rock it for him.
This one hit different, Jack, because like when I saw it this weekend, I was just like, damn, and I've never met him, never shook hands, don't know him at all. So I just know him as a fan of his art, and it hit. Normally, obviously in the circles we in, we kind of know a lot of people, and so it means a lot when someone dies. But I didn't know this guy at all. But still, like when this one hit, I'm just like, damn, like this dude really did an amazing job and really lived his life, man. And again, sending love to his family. What's Burning, available every week on Showtime Basketball YouTube.
And on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Show Basketball.
See y'all next week.
I think I'm getting more comfortable in the ring. I've been here for some time now, so I think I'm maturing as I'm growing. I feel as though that great things is ahead of me, you know, as long as I stay focused.
What a fight between Barrios and Davis!
When Floyd came up to me, he was like, he was down on the official cards, but I'm like, I just dropped him. There's no way I'm down, but, you know, that's coming from Floyd, so. And then when he said, like, show me you great, that's all he had to say. I don't care about who is in front of me, who is in back of me. As long as I win, that's the whole goal, to win. That's my main goal, to win, and look damn good doing it.